Welcome back to Wearing History. Today we are going to be doing the last sewing tutorial specifically for the Wanda jacket, sewing in the waistband. Grab your jacket, open it up, and you're going to do 2 running stitches across just the back pieces. Grab one of each of the 2 threads and ease those gathers all the way across the back. Be careful to not snap the threads. Work it slowly. Obviously this is sped up. Grab your waistband. You're going to match the center back of the waistband to center back of the jacket, right sides together. Pin that to place. Now grab the front of the jacket and the end of the waistband. Pin those to place as well. Make sure you've got enough room for turning that corner at the end. I've already sewn my bound buttonholes on my waistband, so those are already finished. You can go and see the bound buttonhole tutorial. You're going to match that side seam to the notch as I showed, and now you're going to ease across the front of the jacket. There should be no gathering on the front of the jacket, only on the back. So make sure you ease this carefully with your fingers, making the fabric fit in snugly and smoothly to the jacket waistband. That's what it looks like when those 2 are pinned. Now on the back, you have center back already pinned. You're going to wiggle around those gathers and make them fit so that it's flush and one's not pulling harder than the other one. You want them to lay exactly the same size together. Just wiggle those gathers around as much as you want until they sit really nicely. And that's that. Now sew all the way across using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Of course, you're grabbing only one side of the waistband. When it's done, it looks like this. You're going to press your gathers up towards the waistband and you're going to turn under 5/8 of an inch at the unsewn edge of the waistband. Now, when those are pressed, you're going to sew this by hand. You can also sew this by machine using a top stitch of an equal distance from the seam line, but I chose to use a hand sewn seam because I didn't want any visible stitching on my waistband this time around. I'm just using like a whip stitch, grabbing a tiny little bit of the jacket front and a tiny little bit of the waistband. So that way if I take my jacket off, it's not obvious where the sewn seam is. It kind of blends in with my fabric. When it's done, it looks like this. You can find the tutorial for these covered buttons on my site as well. Thank you so much for sewing this jacket with me. You can find the pattern on wearinghistory.etsy.com, also wearinghistory.clothing. Follow me for more tutorials and vintage garments.